Hi Tacoma, welcome back to TV Teaching for 2nd grade. Today is Friday, October 9th. Before we get started with our reading and writing lesson, as always, we're going to check in with our zones and practice some strategies that can help us get into the green zone, which means we're ready to learn. So do a self-assessment, which means check in. What zone are you in right now? If you're not sure what emotion you're feeling, you might check in with what's happening in your brain. Does it feel calm? Can you focus? Check in with your body. Does it feel relaxed, but not too relaxed? Now think about your I message, where you're able to express your feeling to someone else so that they know. Your I message would sound something like, I feel because Take some think time. Now I'm going to model sharing an I message with Gus. Gus, I feel excited because it's Friday, and that means that I get to sleep in the next 2 days. Your turn. Go ahead and share your I message. Hopefully you're in the green zone ready to learn. If you don't feel like you're yet in the green zone, I'm going to give you a moment to take a mindful moment using one of the strategies that we've practiced. You might practice hand breathing. You might practice the strategy of getting back on track. That's where you tip your head to help your brain feel disconnected but then reconnected and balanced back on your body. You may have had an opportunity to have an adult help you make a mindful jar. You might also use our strategy where we start at the top and we tense all our muscles and then relax. Any strategy that works best for you. If you already are in the green zone, go ahead and just practice one of those strategies right now so that when you're not in the green zone, you have one ready to go. I'm going to practice hand breathing. All right. The materials that you're going to need for our lesson today are your learning buddy. I have Gus. You might have another stuffed animal or a rock, or maybe there's someone in the room that you can share your thinking and learning with. You are also going to need your whiteboard and marker and eraser that were in the school supplies that hopefully you were able to pick up from your teacher. If you haven't yet picked up those school supplies, make a plan for how you can connect with your teacher to get everything that you need. You gather your supplies and I'll meet you over at the screen. To get us started and to help teach you something that might feel a little uncomfortable, because I'm going to ask you to recognize that I can teach you some phonics rules and lessons, but not every word is always going to follow that rule. And sometimes you're just going to have to use a strategy of what looks right when you're reading and writing words. So this song, Make New Friends But Keep the Old, is a song that we're going to sing together. You should have hopefully been introduced to this at the end of 1st grade last year. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to sing it a couple times, so just start singing along with me as you figure out the tune. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. Make new knowledge, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. You ready to try that with me so I'm not singing by myself? Okay, here we go. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. Make new knowledge, but keep the old. One is silver and the other's gold. Today we're going to make new knowledge, but we're going to keep the old knowledge that we have because they're both appropriate to use at different times. Today I want to teach you to look when you're using R-controlled vowels and decide which vowel looks right, because there's different options for which vowel is going to fit for words that have R-controlled vowels. So, I want you to think about some words that you know that have the sound. Say something in them. I have some ideas. I'm going to say some words, and I want you to practice writing them on your whiteboard. Are you ready? Okay. I thought of the word mother. Say mother. Now write mother on your whiteboard. Make sure you leave room for other words too. Write brother. Say brother. Okay, write brother. Are you ready for another one? Okay. Write the word sister. Say sister first. Now write it. Sister. The last word I want you to write is father. Say father. Okay, write father. Now, keep them on your whiteboard. Do they look like mine? You might have noticed that in mother, brother, and father, there's a digraph in the middle. I also am wondering if you noticed the consonant blends in brother and sister. Now, look at the ending in all of those words and do some thinking. How are they the same? Did you notice that they all have an ER at the end? Okay, so this is where it's going to get really, really tricky, because ER is not the only option for R-controlled vowels. There are others out there. Second graders, take a deep breath. Now I'm going to go through some other words that have R-controlled vowels in them. And I'm going to have you write them on your whiteboard. And then I want you to think, does it look right? The first one is bird. Say bird. Do you hear the R-controlled vowel in there? Write the word bird on your whiteboard. Go ahead. Did it look like this? Did you use an ER because it's the same R-controlled vowel as in mother, brother, sister, father? Does it look right? Oops. ER as an R-controlled vowel in the word bird doesn't look right. Bird is spelled with an IR, which is also an R-controlled vowel. Bird, B-I-R-D. Now I'm going to give you another. Did you hear that? Gus, you just burped. Excuse you, sir. Burp. Say burp. What do you notice about the word burp? It has an R-controlled vowel in the middle of it. Let's use it. Write the word burp on your whiteboard. Did you use the IR like in bird? That's a good strategy, but doesn't look right. B-I-R-P does not look right for the word burp. Let's try ER. B-E-R-P, burp. No, that doesn't look right either. B-U-R-P, burp. That sounds right, and it looks right. So we're practicing this strategy of thinking about which R-controlled vowel looks right when we're writing words and reading words. Now, a lot of second grade teachers don't teach you this because they're not quite sure if you're ready. But I think you are. I'm going to teach you a strategy that my second grade teacher, Mrs. Blaisdell, taught me for trying to figure out R-controlled vowels. And it's this silly sentence that we can use to help us think about which R-controlled vowel should we use when reading and writing words that have in them. And this helps us decide because the R-controlled vowel ER, like in the word her, is the most common R-controlled vowel spelling that we will use when we're reading and writing words with in them. Most of the time, it's going to be ER. But there are times when it will be IR, as in first. Not as often as ER, but it's the next most common. Now, if you're reading and writing words with an R-controlled vowel and ER doesn't look right, then try IR. If IR doesn't work right, then the next most common is UR, like in nurse. And then you'll notice that there are more words in this sentence that have R-controlled vowels. And it's in the order of most to least common. So the most common is ER. The next most common is IR. The next most common is UR. After that is OR. Then EAR, then AR. So we're going to read this sentence together. Pay attention to what is the R-controlled vowel, where in the word does the R-controlled vowel fall. Read this sentence with me out loud. Her first nurse works the early calendar. Should we read that one more time? Really listen and pay attention to the R-controlled vowels. Her first nurse works the early calendar. Remembering, they go in order of the most common to the least common spelling of R-controlled vowel, making the sound Now that we know this, we're going to practice spelling some more words. So go ahead and wipe off your whiteboard and get ready. You'll remember the most common is ER, like in mother, brother, sister, and father. You'll notice that that R-controlled vowel comes at the end of the word. When you have a word that has an R-controlled vowel at the end, it's probably going to be ER. So you would try that. If it doesn't work, then you would use the next most common, which is IR. What do you notice about these words? Dirt, girl, first. Is the R-controlled vowel at the end like mother, brother, sister, father? It's not. It's in the middle of the word. So we're going to use the next most common spelling for an R-controlled vowel. Use your sentence. Her first was an IR spelling of an R-controlled vowel. Mother, brother, father, sister has the ER at the end where you would use the most common first, ER. With girl, dirt, and first, the IR, R-controlled vowel, is in the middle, which means it would be the next most common spelling, which is IR, as in the word first. If you use the IR, R-controlled vowel, and it still doesn't look right, you would go on to the next most common, her, first, nurse, UR, like in nurse. Okay, are you ready to try a few? Here we go. Now don't get distracted by the cuteness. This is an otter. Say otter. Where do you hear the R-controlled vowel? Ot-er. It's at the end. Try using the most common spelling of an R-controlled vowel and see if it looks right. Use this sentence if it helps you. Her first nurse works the early calendar. ER. That's the most common spelling. It looks right. Did you get the double T in the middle? Let's try another one. This is a baseball diamond and I've circled third base. Now think really hard. Where is the in the word third? Use the sentence if it helps you. Her first nurse works the early calendar. Where do you hear the R-controlled vowel? It's not at the end, which is where the most common would be. It's in the middle. Third is spelled with an IR because it's in the middle and it's the second most common place and spelling for an R-controlled vowel. Let's try one more. The word this picture represents is burn. Say burn. Where do you hear the R-controlled vowel in the word burn? Write it on your whiteboard. Did you try it with an IR? Did it look right? If it didn't look right, you go to the next most common R-controlled vowel spelling, which is UR, as in nurse. Burn is spelled B-U-R-N. Now that you know that there are multiple ways to spell an R-controlled vowel, and you know that you can use what looks right when you're reading and writing words, you can also use this vowels with an R poster to help you. Like, say the word tiger. The is at the end, which means it's probably the most common spelling for an R-controlled vowel, which is ER. There's the word third again, and turtle. So second graders, my challenge to you today is when you're doing your independent reading, building your stamina, reading for longer and longer periods of time, look for words with an R-controlled vowel and see if it matches the sentence that I gave you, where the most common spelling at the end of a word would be an ER. And see if you can find rules or words that break the rules. Thank you so much for learning with me today, friends. Now it's your chance to take your 5-minute break. Make sure you go to the bathroom, get your drinks of water, stretch your legs, clean up your materials, because Mrs. Wally will be right back on with some math. Have a great weekend, second graders. Thank you. Bye.
Hi second graders, welcome back from your break. Are you ready to do some math with me? I am so excited to do math with you today. Let's gather our materials and get started. Today you're going to need your whiteboard and marker or pencil and paper, your learning buddy, and something to count with. Legos, beans, pasta, pebbles, any little objects you can think of. You're going to need about 15 to 20 of them, so grab that. Some of you already have baggies ready to go. Grab a counter and meet me over at the smartboard to do our number talk. All right, so today what I'm going to do is I'm going to flash these cards, and then I want you to tell me the total. I want to know how much there is all together. Are you ready? How much do you see all together? And how do you know? Tell me. How much do you see? I'm going to use red. How much do you see? I heard 2, and I heard 6. How do we think those people saw 2 and 6? Gus, you said 2 on top? Yep, I see 2 on top. What else do you see? Pebble, you see 4 on bottom? Did you see the 4 on bottom? You might have seen 3 and 1 or 2 and 2, right? What is 4 and 2 more? What does it make? It makes 6. Oh, Pebble, you saw it differently. How did you see it, Pebble? Now I'm going to erase this. You saw 4 and 2 as well, but you saw the 4 and 2 differently. Did any of you at home see the 4 and 2 differently? Pebble, how did you see it? Oh, Pebble said he saw 4 and 2 more. And he knew that 4 and 2 more is the same as 6. Wow, great math thinking. You ready for the next one? So now you get the idea of how we're supposed to tell how many there are and tell how we see it. Are you ready? Here we go. I'll show you again. How many did you see? How many did you see? Pebble, you saw 4 in a group. You saw like 1, 2, 3, 4, like on a dice. Okay, Gus, did you see anything? You saw 3. Where'd you see 3, Gus? On the top, 2 and 1. So Gus said 2 and 1 here makes 3. And Pebble said 2 and 2 here makes 4. This kind of looks like a dice. Like when you roll the dice, the number 4 in the dice. Okay, so how many are there? Well, That's interesting, Pebble. Pebble said, well, Mrs. Wally, I just took this one right here, and in my head, I moved it over here. And so then I knew that 4 and 4 is 8, but I have 1 less. And 1 less than 8 is 7. Ooh, that was some great math thinking. What were you thinking at home? 3 plus 4, and you were using a double? Tell me more. What do you mean you were using a double? Oh, in the number 4, there's the number 3 and the number 1. And you know, what's the double for 3? 3 plus 3 is 6, and 1 more is 7? Excellent math thinking. All right. How many do you see? I want you to think about the strategy that Pebble used by moving this dot right here over here to fill in the space. You ready? Watch. How many do you see? Mrs. Wally, that's too fast. No, it's not. How many do you see? You see 8? How did you see 8? What did you do? You moved 1 over. Let's see if we can figure it out together. Pebble, I see it. Gus, you see it too? Oh my goodness, second graders. This one. And we know our doubles as second graders. And we know that 4 and 4 is 8. Kiss those brains, second graders. Amazing job. We're going to use some counters. So I'm going to move over to my whiteboard. Remember, that means my face is going to go off the screen, but you're going to be able to see my hands moving with the materials. And I'd like you to get your whiteboard and your counters out. Are you ready? Let's go. All right. Now, my job when I get up, and maybe you can help remind me, friends at home, is to not forget my microphone pack. This is the microphone pack, and it has to sit here on the table so you can hear me. And every time I get up, I forget. So that's your job. Remind me at home. Yell it through the TV. Mrs. Wally, don't forget your microphone pack. Okay? All right. It says use counters. What is 4 more than 7? Well, let's write the number 4. No. Or should we write the number 7? I don't know. What do you think? Which number should we write? It says, what is 4 more than 7? Gus and Pebble, what are you thinking? Should we write the 4 or should we write the 7? Well, it says, what is 4 more than 7? So what number are we starting with? Oh, we're going to start with 7 and then we have to do more. Okay. Now you can build 7 if you'd like. For this one, I'm just going to write the number 7, and then I'm going to use some Legos. How many Legos do I need to put down to make 4 more? 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 more than 7 is 4. What do you think? Is that accurate? I put down 4 Legos, and so 4 is 4 more than 7. Oh, Gus, you don't, what, huh? Gus says, no way, Mrs. Wally. If it's more than 7, the number can't be 4. Were you thinking that at home? Oh, so what do I need to do? Oh, Gus says I need to start at 7 and count on. Okay, so I'm going to say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 7, 4 more than 7 is 11. Okay, let's reset. Let's look at the next one. What is 4 less than 7? Oh. If I put 7 here and I put 4 more counters, is that going to help me find that answer? No? What should I do? What do you think? Oh, maybe we could build our total first? Okay. And what's our total? We're starting at 7 and we're going to count. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Legos. If I have 4 less than 7, what do I need to do with these Legos? 4 less than 7. 4 less than 7. 4 less. That means the number is going to have less in it. So what should I do with these Legos? Oh, Pebble, you think I should take 4 of them away? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this less than 7? How many less is it? 4. What is 4 less than 7, second graders? 3. Kiss your brains. Wow. Okay. We've got a story problem. I'm going to go back over to the smartboard so that we can highlight and underline important information, and then we'll come back to the whiteboard to solve our problem. Are you ready? Okay, I got my, thank you for reminding me. I have my mic pack. It's not falling on the floor. All right, here we go. I'm gonna get my highlighter out. What color would you guys like today? What do you think? Purple? Okay, purple it is. A small bag holds 3 fewer soccer balls than a big bag. Oh, I see why I was doing that work. 3 fewer or 3 less. A small bag holds 3 fewer soccer balls than a big bag. The small bag holds 9 soccer balls. How many balls does the big bag hold? That's a lot of balls and bags and bigs and smalls. Is anyone else confused? That's why we read it lots of times. So we have to ask ourselves, what's going on in this story? So let's read it again. There's a small bag. I'm going to do some writing here. Let's see if it helps us understand it when I write. So a small bag of balls is holding 3 fewer soccer balls than a big bag. So I've got a small bag and I've got a big bag. Yeah? A small bag and a big bag? Okay, and we'll put the top of the bag like this and the top of the bag like this. These are our bags. Okay. The small bag, what are we trying to figure out? What's our question? Let's start there. Where's our question? Small bag holds 3 fewer soccer balls than a big bag. The small bag holds 9 soccer balls. How many soccer balls does the big bag hold? Okay, so we're trying to figure out how many balls does the big bag hold. So where should I put my question mark? Are we trying to figure out how many are in the small bag, how many are in the big bag, how many fewer, what are we trying to figure out? Pebble, you say the big bag. We're gonna put a question mark there. We don't know, whoops. We don't know how many are in the big bag. Okay, so what information do we know, second graders? What information do we know? The small bag holds 3 fewer soccer balls than the big bag. So this one is going to have 3 less than this one. Okay. What else do we know? We know that the small bag holds 9 soccer balls. So we know in this bag there are 9 soccer balls. All right. If this number right here is 3 fewer than this number right here, then this number on the right is going to be 3 what? It's not 3 fewer. This one's 3 fewer. The one on the right is going to be 3 more. Let's build that and let's see if that makes sense. Meet me over at the whiteboard. Let's pull that apart a little bit. So we've got some soccer balls, right? We've got a bag that is small and we've got a bag that is large. And our problem told us that this bag has 3 fewer. Well, if this bag has 3 fewer, let's put a number. Let's say it's 3, 4. If this bag has 3 fewer, I'm going to do it this way. This will make more sense. Here's my small bag. This is my small bag. And this is my large bag. This one has 3 fewer, right? There's 3 less of them in this bag. That means this bag down here has 3 more. So let's build the small bag. We know what the small bag is. The small bag is 9 soccer balls. So here we go. 1, 2, count with me, 3. You build them on yours. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. That means this large bag is going to have 9, right? Because these are the same amounts right here. And we know that this part is 9. This bag is going to have 9, and then it's going to have 3 more. So let's put 3 more in. Are you ready? 9, 10, 11, 12. So an equation might be 9 plus 3 equals blank. We might also say that this number, blank, minus 3, this number, 3 less, is going to be that number. right? Blank minus 3 is going to equal how many were in the small bag? 9. Okay. Well, what's 9 plus 3? 12. What's 12 minus 3? 9. So how many are in the large bag? 12 soccer balls. Whew, second graders, that was a tricky problem. So let's go through these questions we asked ourselves. How many balls does a small bag hold? We said 9. How many more balls does the big bag hold than the small bag? And we decided it was 3 more, right? If this one's 3 fewer, then this one's 3 more. That's the way numbers work. That's how they're related, right? If this one is larger, it has some more, and this one has the fewer. So if it's 3 fewer, this one's 3 more. If it was 5 fewer, this would be 5 more. Okay, write an addition equation to solve the problem. Take a look. 9 plus 3 equals blank. What does the equation show? That we have 9 in one bag and 3 more than 9 in the other bag, which means there's a total of 12 soccer balls in the large bag. Can you write a subtraction equation to find the answer to this problem? We did. We had a missing start. We said blank minus 3 equals 9. That 9 was 3 fewer than the total. Second graders, kiss your brain. Now let's try another one. I'm going to erase. It says Ted has 8 white balloons and Mike has 6 red balloons. How many more balloons does Ted have than Mike? Ooh, this is a good one for a bar model. We call this a comparison model. Are you ready? You're going to do just like I did a second ago. You're going to have a bar on top that is shorter than the bar on the bottom because we're comparing how many more, how many fewer. So let's figure out who has more balloons. Is it Ted or is it Mike? Ted has 8 white balloons and Mike has 6 red balloons. It's Ted. So that is Ted, and he has 8 white balloons. And I'm going to make that short for balloons. What about Mike? What does he have? He has 6 balloons. Does the color really matter in this problem? The question was, how many more balloons does Ted have? So I'm actually going to just erase the word white because the color isn't important information. Sometimes it is. You can't see all my letters there, sorry. So now we got to figure out how many more balloons. We're trying to find the part that is different. This is where the word difference comes from when we subtract. We're finding the part that's different. So we know the parts that are the same. So let's draw this time. Let's draw Mike's balloon, 6. And let's draw Ted's balloon. How many? 8. And let's line them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Connect, circle the ones that are the same part. Those are the same. Circle the part that's different. So what's our different part? 2. So how many more balloons does Ted have than Mike? 2. What equation could you write to solve that? Go ahead, write that equation. I hear some kids saying 8 minus 6 equals 2. I heard another student say 6 plus blank equals 8. And then they said 6, 7, 8, 2. Both of those are correct. Meet me back at the smartboard for your assignment today. All right. Woo! I forgot to take it out. See, I almost thought I dropped it again, and then I just realized I never took it out. I'll figure out the mic thing. There's lots of moving parts when we are on TV. So, Our assignment today is to do page 67 and 68. I want you to draw the pictures like we did or build it and really grapple with which one's more, which one's less. Build it. See if it makes sense. If not, try and build it a different way. I don't expect you to build it right the first time. This is something I want you to sit with and work on and try and figure out. It's like a puzzle. If you're doing this work and you're, Mrs. Wally, I don't understand it, it's not making sense, then that is a time you need to ask your adult at home to call your teacher and ask for help. You circle the number, you call your teacher, you say, I'm on page 67 in my math workbook on number 1 and I'm really not understanding it, please help me. Okay, that's your job. If you can do it, okay, then that's great. All right, great, meet me up at front for our affirmation. Second graders, it's been a great week of learning for us here on our TV classroom. I've enjoyed it so much. I want you to remember that you are an important part of your community and we need you in our community. So our affirmation today is, I am important in my community, in your school community, in your home community, here on our TV community. You are important to us and you matter. So I'm going to practice it and then you're going to do it. I'm important to my community. Your turn. Awesome job, second graders. I can't wait to see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Hey kids, we want to see your work. Just send your pictures and your stories to TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.